It's a good news, bad news story. National high school graduation rates have reached historic highs, but there are real disparities that still exist. I spoke with Education Secretary John King recently about how our schools are performing.
The good thing is we've certainly made progress over the last 8 years. Last year we had the highest graduation rate we've ever had as a country at 82%, driven in large part by reductions in the dropout rate for African American and Latino students. So that's good news. We have millions more students going on to college today.
What is the big, persistent problem that is the focus of all of your attention right now, the number one thing?
Yeah, I think our biggest problem is just how far short we fall from our goal of equitable educational opportunity for all students. There are too many kids, low-income kids, kids of color, English learners, students with disabilities, who aren't getting access to the full range of opportunities.
So what is working for those students? Elizabeth Dozier is a former hands-on principal at one of the nation's most underserved and violent schools, Christian Fenger Academy High School. So tell me about Fenger Academy's demographics. What kind of students were you dealing with?
Sure. So in 2009, when I started as the principal at Fenger Academy, it was interesting in that there were 60% of the young people roughly every single year were considered homeless, about 40% state graduation rate. We had about 40% of incoming ninth graders reading at a fourth grade reading level or below. 300 arrests inside the school that first year. Just attendance rate around 60%. I mean, it was absolutely abysmal.
What did you do to move the needle? What did you do that worked, that could be translated to schools, not just here in Chicago, but around the country?
So I think first it was about relationships. It was about getting to know young people and what their needs were and beginning to tailor individual plans towards those needs. We can't look at young people as kind of this homogeneous population, if you will, as if everyone needs the same thing, especially in those type of circumstances. You really have to look at the individuals and tailor your plan. So for some kids, it meant getting reading supports. For others, it meant meeting basic needs like food and other things like that. Building relationships, mentoring, those were all critical things.
Did you have to shift the culture?
The culture was a big piece of it. It was about helping kids feel a sense of belonging, helping kids feel like ownership in the school as if this were their school. When you think of something like 300 arrests in 2009, I can guarantee you kids did not feel a sense of ownership and purpose. But once we began to invest in various programs, and the number one key, building relationships. So it wasn't this kind of group of 1,000 kids. We began to know the kids, know their families, go out into the community, not just sit back at our desks.
Did you find that the family members became more involved as their kids are more involved? Was that part of the solution?
I think in some ways, family members, some families became more involved, some families didn't. But in my mind, and I think in our team's mind, that was never like an excuse. Like wherever students are at, wherever their family's at, that's where we're going to meet them, and we're going to move forward from there.
What would you take now in your new work in Chicago Beyond that informs how schools across the country could think about serving kids better, whether they're dealing with a population that's overwhelmingly homeless, or just dealing with kids in poverty, or dealing with middle-class kids who don't seem to be particularly engaged in their education?
I think it again goes back to realizing how critical this time in a young person's life is, especially when we talk about high school. There are two main points in a child's life that I believe are most critical, and research is showing this in terms of just development. So it's that kind of, under 0 to 5 time, and now when young people are in high school. And so it's realizing that there is no, it's not too late, right? Sometimes we feel like once kids get to 14, 15, 16, like it's too late. Like if they've made a mistake, if they've gotten off the path, that's it. I think of one of my students, Jonathan, who had just horrible family circumstances. I won't get into all his business, but horrible family circumstances, and wound up, in jail for almost 7 months. We didn't give up on him as a school. Like, we visited him when he was in jail. We continuously supported him. We provided him options and supports. When he got out, it was still difficult for Jonathan. But eventually, with those continued supports over a number of years, he's now at Western Illinois University, like in college. I mean, when you think about where this kid started to where he ended up with, it's just, I think it goes to show, like, with the continuous support, realizing the path is not going to be easy. So oftentimes this country, it's like we want these like one-size-fits-all solutions. Well, if we just do this, then this is going to happen. It doesn't work that way. I don't care what type of kid you're talking about. Kids are complex.
Great. Well, fantastic. Congratulations on all your success
Thank
and on your
you.
new venture as well.